Okay, sorry about that. Um, okay, so to answer the question about Mrs. P, I have no idea. No idea about Mrs. Portland. I have not spoken to Walter. I have not spoken to anybody. I do not know. The last I heard, she was getting transferred on Tuesday somewhere else, and I don't know what has happened since then. And I have been entirely too busy, focused on everything that's going on with me and with Kaylee to, I mean, I hate to say it this way, but to care about that stupidity. And that's exactly what it is, stupidity. Neither one of them are ever going to leave each other alone. It is going to be never ending, constant roller coaster, teeter totter, tug of war, back and forth. It's never going to end. Needle Mash is never going to shut the fuck up and leave her alone. And Mrs. Portland is never going to shut the fuck up saying that she should be able to say what she wants to say. People on the internet are never going to shut the fuck up, going back and forth between the two of them, trying to stir the shit up because they like the drama. And if y'all are here from TikTok and don't know who it is, be glad. Mariah, turn that down some. Be very glad. But welcome in, everybody. Yeah, I gave an update on Kaylee today on TikTok. Not good news. She has avascular necrosis in both hips and both knees, and the hip has progressed to between stage 2 and 3. They don't know what the underlying cause is because she doesn't have any of the risk factors. So we are going back to the rheumatologist next week to go over the blood test that she had done to see if they can figure out what is causing it. Their best guess is either some type of autoimmune disease or a genetic blood clotting disorder. We don't have any blood clotting disorders in my family or her dad's family that I'm aware of. Um, Haley is my oldest daughter. She's 31. Um, so until they figure out what is going on, she's not supposed to do anything physical. She's supposed to use a cane to walk. Um, Today, when we looked at the scans in comparison from January to September, it showed that a half crescent had started to form, which is the first signs that the the bone is starting to deteriorate. So we have to go back in 2 weeks for more scans. Then they're going to compare the three and decide if they can do a core drilling into her bone to try to um, get blood flow back going into the area. But there's a 25% chance that it helps. So um, that's about it right now. All I want to do is cry. Monday, anniversary of my death, and Monday's also my sweet anniversary. So yeah, I'm stressed out beyond, way beyond. Monday is the anniversary of Nani's death, and it's also mine and Sweet Cheek's 8 month anniversary. He makes me smile. He also drives me fucking crazy. It's a toss up. So do I, Lori. So do I. All right, y'all. I've got this first one pulled up. This is an interview with one of Brian Koberger's classmates. I have no freaking idea how the hell to pronounce his name. But this was just released today. The interview was done on um, October 10th of 2023. And then after this one, there is one from the co-owner of the Idaho 4 House, 1122, which from my understanding is interesting. So we're going to play this one first, and then I'll play the second.
So, obviously, we wanted to touch base with you again.
Okay. There is no I know that it's buffering. Can y'all still hear it? As long as y'all can hear it, I don't care about the buffering. Cuz there's nothing to see. There's no video. It's just audio. Let me know if it starts not being able to be heard.
And when it started and all that stuff. So, wherever you feel like starting. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. My first meeting was last year. Okay, sorry. Let me organize the time. Last August was the last, and we serve as same teaching assistant with. And we share an office in. Okay. It's 12. Yeah. Wilson short for 12. Yeah. Okay. We share them for one semester, and you can ask what you want to understand because I don't know. I'm sure what kind of information you want. Yeah. So I guess what was your relationship like with Brian, and that in particularly before the homicides in Moscow? Okay. He always say we are friends, and I probably one one of most close person with him because we have a job and usually discussion our class work together. I asked him something because I I I thought he was a very smart person. He understands our coursework very well, and I'm international student, so sometimes I'm not sure the information is correct or not.
It's me.
But Miss need me a lot of information, such as where he is, or sorry, where he was, or where what kind of assignment requirement he always mislead and make me confused. Again, we share same TA job together. So I also noticed he push a lot of his work to me. I noticed he's a very selfish person. But I understand last thing was he have been arrested. But before he arrest, we usually have a phone talk around around October to November.
Okay.
Before he excused his homicide, and after he excused his homicide, he usually call me, and every time we just chatting, and I don't know why he usually call me, and every time perhaps have more than 1 hour talking. Yeah, I don't know why, but sometimes I heard his voice was very very anxious. He probably wants someone to speak with him and reduce his anxieties or pressure, something like that. Another information is he once been my dormitory before. I live on campus. He once been he was very close to the almost homeless, or if the homeless, I'm not sure because it was 1 year ago. And yeah, around that time I feel him. He was extremely anxious. I just noticed his voice always speak very very fast and cannot very well structured. He just want to express anything, but a lot of information was complicated. I cannot understand because again I was international student.
Was that out of the ordinary for him?
Sorry?
Was him speaking quickly like that? Was that out of the ordinary or not normal?
Yeah, I think it's what I feel. Just feel some person feel anxiety and just want to release his pressure, something like that. And another important information was yes, we shared some tier job together, and he was reported by some student because he's unfair grading, and he tried to inappropriate content to female students. He tried to use his grading, his authority, his power to touch girl, something like that. Because I remember he told me once he wanted a girlfriend. Yeah. So he got reported from students, and our professor also noticed this problem. So they have it, and told me he didn't like Brian because Brian is he thought he's a very very arrogant student and not hardworking, something like that. And he he tried to report his problem. And the last time Brian and what Brian know this information, and they call me. Brian called me if he got his job has been canceled, or if his tier job has been canceled, or his admission has been influenced. He want to he want to fight with this system. He want to fight with our I don't know why it's fine. It's a kind of.
And again, we do have a translator on the phone. If there's anything you want.
I have a caption. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. So sorry. Again, my English.
You're fine. But if you need it, just so you know, there's a translator on the phone. If there's anything you can't think of, he can help out too.
Okay. Yeah. So before now you all understand why I'm talking, because I'm just worried. My English. Okay, let me continue. So he told me he want to fight with the sales we want against, and he encouraged me a fight with him together. But I refused, and he told me he want to report to our department's dean office, something like that. Everything was around December, November, before he had got arrested. So the biggest problem. So I know he's eventually I know he will to catch the girls, the female students, uh, attraction, something like that. And he's not an honest person because why I mean because the last talking my last talking with him was I before he got I think was around before the Christmas, the last year Christmas, and he told me he's still in Pullman and he's packing, but the true was he or his father been there. They drove together to Pennsylvania. So lead us his where he was. Yeah. But less information was I know was he has been arrested because yeah he during the phone call he told me he's ready to he would take plane flight from Pullman to Pennsylvania, but the truth incorrect.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Another thing is once okay, one was talking with them. So if you finish, you probably have a short discussion with him if you want. And he would have very serious argument with John because John already know some student report him and he still Brian doesn't didn't communicate very polite with John. So
Thank you, Jelly Bear.
they have an argument, but I'm not sure the detail. But let me think. Here's something. I think there's one more thing very important, but I need to read it. I need to record
Yeah,
it.
take your time.
Okay. I think is around the end of October to no date, but I usually notice his face has a scar. You know what is scar? Yeah, scar. Wounded scar. He's look not didn't he look not like by extension like humans scratch something
It did look like that, or it did not look like that.
look like
It
that.
looked like a human scratch.
Yeah,
Okay.
look like human scratch. And I also noticed his
Knuckles.
sorry,
You're good.
knuckles usually has had scar. At least two times.
Hang on. Did he just say that he had a long scratch on his face? And one on his neck, and his necklace that he usually wore is missing? Is that what I just interpreted? Because he doesn't have a scratch on him in the selfie the next morning.
Different week.
Okay.
Different week. So he probably he fought with some people, but I'm not sure. As I asked him, he just said he got a car accident.
Car accident.
Yeah, but is 2 week, different week. For example, this week and then next week, I saw the new scar.
Okay.
So it was very, very, very strange. And around that time, he usually went to our class very late, probably more than 20 minutes, several times. Yeah, there's. Sorry, I'm not sure I'm not pretty sure the date.
Oh, that's okay.
But it probably around October to November, the end of October.
Do you remember if the knuckle scars or the face scar, like which one was first or second?
I think both.
Okay, they were at the same time.
Same time.
Okay.
Yeah. And the same time he had things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where on his face was it? Was it like across his nose, on his cheek,
nose,
across his nose?
and knuckles. I'm not sure that which hand.
Mm-hmm.
Probably both, but yeah, he is a very very specific.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember, was it like an up and down scar or a sideways?
This is a good question.
It's a long time ago.
Difficult question. Let me think. I'm not sure,
Okay.
but it probably half horizon.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Horizontal. Yep. So he said that was from a car accident. That he told you.
He said car accident.
Hmm.
I just asked him like a friend
Mm-hmm.
to concern his, but he didn't want to talk. He didn't want to talk too much.
Yeah. Was there any topics that he liked to talk to you about specifically after the homicides happened?
Yes.
What were those?
He liked to talk humans psychological pattern. He liked to talk his research. He likes to talk criminal decision making, something like that. And he say he like to guess why criminal want to do the behavior, something like that. And he told me about his research interest is invade burglary, home burglary, right? Yeah. I'm not sure that the sentence. Yeah, burglary. He say he want to understand this type of behavior, why to invade some people's house and something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. The most. We usually talk about. He usually said the first thing is his research interest. He want to understand why criminal behavior, what kind of criminal behaviors, and he want to make a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing is he want to fight with the system because he got reported. I guess he probably gained some alert from our campus, but so he wanted to do some sport.
Said he wanted a girlfriend. What did he tell you, or did he tell you the reason why he couldn't find a girlfriend, or did he express frustrations in finding a girlfriend? Or
I asked him if he has a girlfriend before. He said, I'm not sure is correct, but he said yes, but like he broke up with his girlfriend. I'm not sure, but I didn't ask his detail. But yeah, he just say he wants a girlfriend here. Yeah.
Okay. Did he ever express any interest in a particular girl, or?
No, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay.
He just say.
Gotcha.
But he just my guess because after the homicide and who was his TA student, and because he hear several girls talking, Brian has several inappropriate
Mm-hmm.
communication and something like scanning. They feel insulted by Brian. So we guess the homicide probably have a relationship with he wants a girlfriend, and probably some girl refused him, and he want to revenge because we all because I know Brian is a person who very afraid of some people to refuse. He want to express he is a smart person. He's a excellent person. He is super than other people. So he probably cannot afford someone refuse him. He got failed from something.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's our guest, but I'm not sure it's correct or not. Yeah, just I want to share with you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And you said so he lost his job as a TA?
No, he probably potentially,
Okay.
but he noticed.
But he found out about the reports about him.
I guess probably some our campus because it was around December.
Okay.
It's already end of or the end of the semester, the fall semester. So he probably already got some notification mail or phone call from our grade A office, something like that.
Yep.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's just my guess.
You think he probably did? Okay.
Yeah. So that's the reason why he called me.
Okay, listen. This dude sounds like he's listened to every conspiracy theory and news channel from 2022 till this when he was interviewed in October of 2023. Mixed them all up in his head and is trying to tell about them in his badly broken up English. This is ridiculous. This is not, he's even saying, no, I don't know. This is just what I think. This isn't. Oh my God, these people. First of all, you wait a year to interview this person. And then you let him just tell you what his opinion is. You don't ask him to stick to facts only. You don't ask him to tell you information that he actually knows. You just let him run with this is bullshit.
You can you can become you could become my evidence to support my innocence, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Did you have any conversations with Brian that you can remember, like right after the homicides happened? That was like November 13th. Once everybody had been notified, by the alert on campus. Did he ever bring it up, or did you ever bring it up with him? And did you guys talk about it?
He because we share same office, so sometimes I work in office, and he was there, and he said he will give me a ride.
About this is credible.
Doing on his car, he probably go before went back to my dormitory. He said he want to buy a coffee and drove to Starbucks, bought a coffee.
In the beginning, he was clearing his throat, sounded like he was going to hot the loo.
Because my dormitory a little bit far from him, probably probably 10 million or 15 million driving this distance. And after arriving, we still walk a short distance to my room. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Robin, let's see.
I don't think so. Okay. Anything else you can think of that we should know?
If you know young, we have the office was 3 people, and one was me, and Brian, and another was a girl, but I'm not sure she will afford investigation on that. But
We've spoken to her, yeah.
okay, so yeah, she probably also told you something, but yeah, she's a very important people because she also got some problem with violence and probably.
No, I get that, Jilly Bear, but they would have noticed things on his arms, his hands, and his face.
Upstairs, but I'm not sure he have time. Yeah, because she probably also know some information because we probably he probably also got some. He have a several report.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I have. Anything else if you want.
Cool.
So if I want to organize my thought. Not sure. Probably his personal mental problem. Probably, but I think he want a girlfriend is a very strong evidence. Related.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Of course.
You have my email, so if you think of anything else, just reach out to me, and I can always come back over here and talk to you. Rob, do the same. So we're always around. So if you think of anything else, please reach out.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you
Of course.
setting aside the time. I'm sure you're plenty busy.
Yeah.
How much longer do you have?
I hope it will help.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I'll give you one. There's mine too.
I'm sorry we didn't need you, but we appreciate you sitting in.
No problem.
All right, thank you.
That was the biggest bunch of nothing that I've ever. All right, the next one is Scott Perky. It's from December 13th, 2022, and he's the co-owner of the Idaho 4 house. Now, this is audio only.
Perfect. I got that on mine as well. So, okay. Remember, I think I'm recording, so it's going. Okay, sounds awesome. Yeah, that's kind of I think that's wise on both our parts. Yeah. Okay, let me get my bullets out, because You're good. Not really. You're good. I get it. You follow with it? Notebook. Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. So, let's start off first. Yes, okay. Your first name, what's your middle initials? And then just like the hands inside, okay, like a hole. And what's your address down here? Okay, that's where. That's. I don't know how long that'll be, but that's probably while I'm doing this remodeling way. Okay, so we're just gonna walk through this a little bit slow. From what you go. Yeah, whatever way you want. I kind of made some outline. Like I said, bullets, things. There's been so much, as I've been thinking about it and remembering. So first, are we gonna be talking about just one person? Yes. Okay. Can I get that person's name first? Yes. So I don't have his full name, but he goes. And I've known him as a troubled kid. Okay. Or at risk, I'd say at risk. He's not really troubled. Did he live in Moscow? No. Okay. Do you know where he lived? Yes. And I just went and double checked that address because I knew I was going to talk to the dude. I don't know if they're still there or not. He was living with. Okay. exact, but it's gun that's off the street. That's so you. Yeah, yeah.
More redactions.
And then across apartments are in their apartments. Is this here in town? This is okay. Down on just off the freeway. Okay. So you take that exit, and you turn. It's that entrance. There's two different entrances to that. Mother was living there, and you may know that's daughter who used to be, and I don't know what the child's last name is because it's his dad's last name, okay. And I just knew him as. Didn't need to know more than that. So let's go back a little bit. Just off of okay. And it's up apartments. They just went straight in, right up the stairs to that stairway. That's where they did live. I dropped off some instruments, and I even spent a night there one night. Have you go slow kind of from, I guess, the beginning of what you know. So, like I said, we'll just kind of work our way through this, okay? Whatever way we get questions.
He's gonna get to it actually. Just wait.
Lord willing, I won't forget it. Okay. Get something. My background on was because I was having a hard time. I was invited up to one of their family picnic things. So it's actually his wife's family, and they do a yearly picnic up at a lake north. Gosh, it's quite a little bit north of onto it. They go every year. It's kind of their family reunion. It's been going on for multiple generations. Okay. So I drove. Both of them were having a hard time with their driving and whatnot. And so when I was working the store, and I didn't have any other people around, it was at the start of COVID. Okay. So the very first summer of COVID. And so I drove them up there, and at the last minute, and then her daughter, and I don't remember the daughter's name right now. She's a little younger, not much. Okay. And so I met him just during the drive. Very pleasant kid. When it comes to, they were all in the car with you. So all in the car, yeah. So I went up there, and then we went to the picnic. And so while we were up there at the picnic, bless kids, those girls, they all got their own certain fire, and some of them were at fire one to the other. But one of the daughters there was a lot of little kids around, and other people coming in there, and because of COVID, there was more people out camping than normal, so people went out. But anyway, so there got to be one of the daughters was just giving people a real hard time, getting them to slow down. So she was playing traffic cop, didn't want kids hurt. Yeah. And but she she was a little overdoing it a little bit. But anyway, so she annoyed some other man, and so they kind of got into an altercation, and then two of the other sisters kind of got in, and it was like, this isn't too good. So this one man at one point, he mentioned something kind of almost like a threat with a gun type of thing. So anyway, so I didn't think too much about these other people's camp was, so I went up on the hillside just to watch, make sure everything was okay and nobody was going to bother them. So lo and behold, while I'm sitting up there, pretty quick, all of a sudden just shows up. Boom, he's right there. And so very stealthy, and all of a sudden, wow, that was pretty intense. And he'd been on the other side of the hill watching. So I thought, wow, that's pretty amazing. And I thought he was a little older than he was. Uh, my take on that is his mother, uh, she's an alcoholic, and gets very, very verbally abusive. And so my take on that is because of their family circumstance, he sees himself as the man of the family and the protector, kind of a protector. And, actually felt pretty good about most things said. I just thought, and I was surprised because he carried himself about 2 years older than what I thought he was. Or what, yeah, I thought he was 2 years older.
Was at that time?
I was thinking he was probably 17. It turned out he was only 14, 15.
Okay.
So, very, and at that time is when he pulled out and showed me he had a pretty serious knife on him at the time.
Okay.
So he was really into knives. So that was kind of the first time I realized, okay. And then in conversations realized that he had been into ROTC program. The kid is a soldier at heart.
Okay.
I think he's dreamed of being a soldier, stealthy, Rangers type thing. This is where he's headed. But and so, yeah, I think to be honest, I kind of got the general impression since that time that he kind of drinks and breathes that kind of activity.
Yep.
So, yeah. So he let's see if I want to jump from there. Let's see. So that was when we first became acquainted.
Okay.
And then through different times, other family gatherings, times that they would come up, I think she came up one time to help even when we were closing out the store. So it's these kind of family things. So family were gets me invited me at Easter, and so I've been a couple different times, maybe 3 up to there. So they would usually meet up at their family park up there. But another thing about was he wasn't hanging with all the regular crowd, the other cousins. But he's a little bit his own person, a little bit more set apart.
Okay.
So, that was my overall first impression was he was kind of a protector, set on a military career.
He talked about that a lot.
Yes. Yeah, talked about it a lot. And I would ask him when I'd see him, it's like, well, nice program. And anyway, so, and that has stayed pretty consistent the whole time I've known him. It's done that. But he had, on several occasions, he has pulled out and showed me his array of knives. And he had multiple knives.
So what would you describe those?
So his knife, kind of a more like you do from a hunting background. So one would be more like a skinning knife, but then he had, one like you would do when you're gutting out a deer. So he had a pretty good sized knife. And one of those knives, that first knife, it was more of an assault type weapon, but it wasn't real huge. But I'd say probably that one 7-inch blade, maybe I don't think it's 8, but more like one that you'd see a typical deer hunter take up as his main knife, and then of course you get out the deer and then he pulls out his skinning knife when he has the skin. So yeah, so he had an array of those, and and each time he traveled, he had those knives. When he would come up to Moscow, he had those knives 4 different locations. Okay. And there's a good chance that if this all falls through, the weapon you're looking for may be still sitting in one of those hiding spots. And I'll give you that information too.
Okay.
Don't let me forget to do that.
I'll write myself a note. Okay.
And so yeah, so that was pretty much the introduction to him.
Okay.
Okay, and that's always been kind of the case. Okay, so as far as I know, is he was staying on that track. Last I heard, his grades had kind of dropped a little bit. There was a question. I kind of got a second hand through his granddad that if he didn't get his grades up or something, he might not get into his military program that he was wanting to. And and then I was always kind of worried about him because every time his mother would get 3 sheets to the wind and get verbally abusive, I thought, man, it wouldn't take much for this kid to snap at some point.
All right. Let me see if I can try to explain this. This man that is telling you is one of the owners of 1122, the Idaho 4 house. This is an interview that was in one of the first released drops from Moscow PD. In it, he's talking about this guy, this teenager, and his mother that he was acquainted with and would help out sometimes. And this kid had a fascination with knives. He was also in the ROTC, so he thought that would help him with tactical training. ROTC don't teach you how to do shit but march. Well, whatever. And he's trying to say that because this kid has knives and he's weird, he thinks he might be the perpetrator. But it does get interesting because the same kid brags about having hid inside the Idaho 4 house in a closet with a knife, and he said that they never knew he was there. He could have killed them. And Faith put the document name and number in the chat if anybody wants to go read the whole transcript. All right.
I mean, she could be very, very verbally rough on him. And so that was, but it's kind of, yeah. I don't want to sidetrack here. It'd be real easy for me to go chase a rabbit here. So I think I'll.
Okay.
Okay. So that was my initial meetings. And then, like I said, went to multiple family functions with them. And usually I drove back. And then they would come. Now, as they traveled, so you would probably have a hard time locating him because they always tried. She had lost her license from drinking, whatever.
So when his mom would travel,
And they traveled, and the daughter, they always traveled via bus.
Okay.
So they come up on the coach to Moscow, and they would go back on the coach, unless some family member gave them a ride.
Okay. Okay. So they've traveled up there several times, or maybe not even known, right?
What's that?
Did you always know when they were up there?
Up at Moscow?
Yeah.
Not always. But probably, while I was there, usually 90% of the time, because I would stop by. I spent a lot of time in his backyard around his little fireplace stove there.
Yeah.
And I'd come over there and hang out with him.
Okay.
until they get tired and start nodding off. You know, so we'd have a cup of coffee, and a lot of times he'd invite me over, and so we'd just kind of hang out and listen to music. And so usually the boy would come. Now, when they stayed, the locations are probably important here. When they stayed, the two kids, the boy and the girl, slept downstairs in a big double bed down there, and that basement at the time was the whole house was basically a closet. I mean, she didn't throw anything away. It was obsessive compulsive everything. In fact, as I was going to stay there a little bit, and I took a Costco box of lint and stuff away from the washing machine, because it was just heaping over. So I took it out to the trash and just totally freaked because I had taken something out of the house, and I was replacing it with one of the trash cans left over from the music store. And I thought, man, I'm not staying here. Yeah. So it didn't take me long to bail out of there, but I would never stay down in there because of spiders and the bugs would bite her down there, and so she would not sleep there. But at one point I know had his knives in a duffel bag down there at one time, so he had pulled them out of there, and I think he might have, if he transported the knives, I think he might have transported them under the cardboard of a duffel bag. So I don't know that he always transported them. I kind of got the impression that he just kind of kept them stashed up there. And while I'm involved with the locations that I know I'd seen him pull it out from the wood pile one time.
So what's the address?
That's on. Is it turns into?
Back this way.
Yeah, right behind. So one little street runs behind his house. The other one,
Okay.
maybe those.
So I can find out there.
So then, it makes kind of a C shape. There's a house on the corner, but the road behind him. So, like a lot of times when I park, I always parked on the. It might be Logan, but I think it's Lewis. Whatever that. It starts with an L. Sure. So, but anyway, so there's two sheds there, and he would either sleep on the picnic table, she would not sleep in the house, or she would stay out in the shed. And I ended up just this summer putting a roof on that shed. It cost me 2 years to do that. So at the end of that was the last time I saw Gabe and his mom.
Okay.
And so there's a whole event, a shadow event for what we're dealing with took place at that time.
So you said that.
But the locations.
Yeah,
Let's go back to those locations. So the location. So either in the shed that's got the new roof, it's long, and then there was an old shed that we hauled all the trash off out of, and I mean it was, it was so deep in there that we found a rototiller under there. There were chainsaws. There was things that hadn't been seen in years.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this fall, a lot of people jumped in the family and went on to clean everything up after what happened. But anyway, so the locations I've seen him go to for these knives was one, the shed, those two back sheds. Multiple times I think he's had them kind of stashed away in the one I put the roof on. So, yeah.
And then wood pile, you said?
And then one time I saw him, pull them out from the wood pile. Now, there are, some of his cousins are aware of the knives and that, too. And I think the other kids kind of looked up to him a little bit. So, which is I can't think of it. That'd be, I think that's his son. She lives down. But the dad lives up there in Moscow, and he's and so, yeah. So it's a couple years younger. might be worth talking to at some point. Just kind of put a little side. I know that on the one event, he may be aware of when I share there's an event that took place, and then there's another cousin that lives there, and I think that's. So there's been some divorces. So some of the kids are in there part of the time, and part of the time they're not. But there's some of these boys, and when they get together, they could be they could be pills.
Sure.
A little bit. They're boys.
So any other locations? You got the 2 sheds, new one and the old one, and then there's the wood pile.
Yeah, the wood pile, 2 sheds, and down in the basement. These would be the 3 places, and if not, you float them. Now, my thought on this is, in light of some of the other stuff that went on, he's a very smart kid in this stealth activity. I mean, if you see the movies where the guy can get up, all of a sudden he pops up out of the water, pops out of the brush in front of you, this kid's that good. And he's been studying it that long.
Okay.
But anyway, so he may be smart enough that gun is, or not gun, but that knife is vanished. Okay, and now that knife was not first seen. The knife that I think, the last one I saw is even a bigger weapon. And it's serious. The last weapon I saw, it's probably got a 9-inch blade, or it's enough that it would go right up under a rib cage, right to a heart. And it also has, well, I made a little sketch. It's kind of both those. It's an assault. I mean, it's definitely designed for. So these knives have kind of, this kind of look. But but it has also the tear barbs.
Yeah.
So this tip's pretty sharp and long. If I remember, the last one showed me it was longer. Might be even a little longer here, and then these barbs were back here a little further. So it's the type where they, slice in and tear out. So
It's serrated.
You can't just take a picture.
yeah,
of
you
that?
can. And that was, I'd never seen that knife before the last time I saw him. So he showed me another one that was much bigger and a lot more serious. And actually kind of made me nervous. But I would consider, remember they'd always talked about Jim Boyd's knife. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's big. This knife was big. I don't know if it's as big as, who knows how big that. Right, that Boyd knife was, but this big. Wood, I mean, right. I'm not taking down a tree,
Right.
but this knife was big. This last one, and yeah, serious. And like I said, it just looked like it's just completely designed to kill. Okay, so I'm sidetracking a little bit. So where we're at here, so about the locations. Those are the locations. Okay, now on the locations. Okay, so I have a real deep concern because I knew that when I told you the locations, I know you guys are going to be going in there to search. I really, he's my friend.
Yep.
It's going to tear him up.
Yeah.
She's at a she'll lose it. So if we could get support services of some sort, or get a hold of maybe even the bishop is. I don't know about them because you could be, letting the cat out of the bag with the family. So I don't know. Maybe she's at the church. So I know they.
So they're
well, she is. Was going to me. He was going to with me over for a while. He was coming and doing this, and he was really liking it. I got the general impression the family wasn't too thrilled about me taking him there, but he just says no. He says I'll never. He says they all think they're going to convert me, but they. I mean that. Sure. But he was not doing well when I left there. In fact, I tried to get him appointment with a neurologist. I mean, he was just literally shaking and couldn't get out of a rut and hurting, and he felt like the medical field was failing him. So, and then right after I left, and I got this secondhand. You might talk to him. He told me that
Y'all, I have tried to listen to this. I'm about to fall asleep. I'm exhausted. We're 25 minutes in and it's an hour and 25 minutes. I just can't hang with it tonight. I'm sorry, y'all, but I have got to get some sleep. I am exhausted. So we will finish this tomorrow. I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's night, and I will see y'all tomorrow at some point. Night, everybody.